Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It has been far too long. More than a day is too long, if you ask me. I'm glad to be back with you. Welcome to Dogman Cams, the yet unnamed show that I host. I want to really want to get my stuff together for you guys. I want to bring back, and some of you may remember it, some of you may not. There was this gentleman who hosted a show on a channel that's now defunct, dead, destroyed. This channel was called the BDRP. You had all this variety. You got these videos that would explain to you things like we did the other day with Sean and Vault about CERN. Not only would you get that, but you would get things about the spirit world, which is what we're going to talk about today. So, in thinking about this, I wanted to bring back an original formatted show. This gentleman who ran the BDRP, he had the first ever Joe Rogan, David Letterman type late show where he wouldn't just drone on and talk to the guests. Hey, how you doing today? Blah, blah, blah. Tell us about your experience. No, this guy would actually talk to the people like they were human beings because you are human beings. I don't like it and you don't like it. When somebody's sitting there droning on and basically allowing the guest to filibuster without asking any deep dive questions. If I listen to a show, I want somebody to ask poignant questions. Like, say, atypical experience. Somebody was out hunting in the woods. They saw a dog man. Well, tell us about your dog man experience. And then an hour later, thank you for joining us. That's lame. I mean, to me, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys like that kind of stuff. But I want someone who's going to sit and ask poignant questions. What was going on that day? What made you decide to go hunting? What was your emotional state? Because that all attributes, believe it or not, to what type of experience you're going to have. This ethereal dogman, the ethereal Bigfoot, the ethereal world is a spiritual world. When you hear about people seeing dogman appearing, disappearing, reappearing, these aren't physical creatures that are going and hiding in underwater coves and cave systems doing this. This is that element that I tell you about, the ethereal beings, these ethereal creatures. And that's just a fancy word for spiritual. Something that's able to manifest itself from a different reality than we can see. It's sitting right here. I'm not talking about they're coming from quantum 8 and some other galaxy. They're from right here. They're just vibrating at a different. They're vibrating at a different frequency than us. You see, all matter vibrates. If you were to vibrate at the same frequency as or a higher frequency than your wall, by theory, you can walk right through it. All solid matter vibrates. So these vibrational fields, they're called, contain different realities. That's scientifically proven. When you go into quantum mechanics in the quantum world, which is a way above, trying to explain that would make me look like a fool, but a lot of smart people are here in the family, especially at Dogman Cams and the Dark Waters Network and the Vaults of Nightmares. It's a smart crowd, so I don't have to belabor the point of what the quantum realm is in quantum mechanics. Folks, that's a fancy word that science has put together for the spirit world. You know that, I know that. So we can move forward. These ethereal creatures that reside in, let's say, so I don't want to offend anybody, let's say the quantum realm, spiritual world, really, but these creatures who reside in the quantum realm somehow can either raise their frequency so we can see them or lower it, whichever the case may be. I'd like to know how they do it. You know what I mean? But I digress. Tomorrow, tonight, right, this show right here, we are reintroducing the original Cryptid Late Show. That's right, folks, the BDRP Late Show. It just came to me. That's when I was who's this guy? Well, I will be damned. This is Vaults of Nightmares calling me right now, literally. What's up, bro? Yeah, I know you've been busy, but hey, check it out. Do you want to go on live with me? I'm on live right now. Yeah, absolutely. I'll give you all the time you need, brother. All right, I'll send you a link. Right on, right on. I'll see you shortly. Look for that. I'll look for that link in like 3 minutes. All right, later. See, folks, that's the realism of Dogman Cams or the BDRP late show, even though it's early. I don't know. I'm not in chat with you guys right now, and I'm really not vamping. I've been in a great mood here lately. And the poll that we took, that was for a reason. We'll get into that as well. But I really wanted to discuss that with you guys, the Ethereal Dogman, because that's what I believe. And I've had multiple experiences with both Dogman and Bigfoot. Out of 23 people that have gone on expeditions, been in the woods with me, 21 of those 23 have seen or heard something that they cannot attribute to natural wildlife. That's not me bragging. That's saying it is what it is. I know these creatures, not as intimately well as some, but I'm definitely not an armchair researcher, as some would have you believe. But anyways, I digress again. Ladies and gentlemen, it is fantastic to be here at Dogman Cams. It's a great team. I know you guys are watching the camera, so technically you're a part of the team, which is what I would call a back-end researcher. You guys are the ones who work in shifts, day, night, morning, noon, and pull stuff off of that camera. Really excited about the giveaway that's going on this month too. I don't remember who exactly the idea was, but you're getting 40 free memberships. We're giving them away all across the channels. You got the Dark Waters Network, Chaos Theory Productions, the Lakeia Show, this show, Sean Graham. It's and multiple ones. There's like 10, what is it? 10, 8 different channels giving away stuff. You're getting 10 customized cups, 2 per channel. It's just phenomenal. I've never worked with a team. Well, that's a lie. I had a team of field researchers, but I've never worked with a team of YouTubers before, really, if that makes any sense. And it's really cool that it's not just YouTubers, but they're people. Every single last person has either had an experience or has been in intimate contact with somebody who has. Like, I think 90% of us has seen one of these crazy creatures. But I'm going to send Vault an invitation, see what he thinks about it. The Ethereal Dogman. All right. We're talking about things that are vibrating at different frequencies. We cannot see with our naked eye. We can only see in certain light. We can only see certain light. I'm going to the chat because the chat always helps me out when I'm vamping and I'm for a loss for words. Certain light frequencies. That's not the right word, I know, but we're going to go with that until somebody corrects me. We can only see in certain light frequencies, and we can only experience things at a frequency that matches our vibrational field. That doesn't mean that outside of that there is nothing. If you like quantum theory, these scientists, these quantum mechanic scientists and theoretical scientists all agree wholeheartedly that we only experience, now get ready for this, folks, because it tripped me out the first time I heard this. We only experience 10% of perceivable reality. We only experience 10% of reality. We can only I don't know if we can only fathom it. If it goes back into this visual spectrum, TCR 44, you are the man or woman. Thank you very much. I had a big brain fart there. There's certain things that are outside of our visual spectrum that we cannot see, and if we saw, would probably, trip out. That's where these ethereal creatures lie. And they're absolutely real. They're just as real as the physical creatures that you hear attacking people, that you hear chase people out of woods. I think that they're, in a lot of ways, realer than the physical creatures, because not only do they have the power to physically harm you and intimidate you, these ethereal creatures can actually, I don't know how, again, I don't believe they can control it, and I'll get to that as well. They have the ability to manifest themselves in a physical world and occupy a spiritual world, yet they're still perceivable to our human senses. And what I mean is, if you're out there in the woods, you get that cold chill up your neck, hair standing up on the back of your neck, you look around, you think you're seeing shadows out of the corner of your eye. You hear these people who they see these things disappear and reappear and zoom off into a puff of smoke. That is these ethereal beings. That are these spiritual beings. Some people of the Christian faith may call them demons. Some people, non-denominational, non-Christians, will call them ethereal beings or elementals. Either way, they're all the same thing, I believe. If you go back to the ancient Greece, to the daemon, which these daemon, Daemon, and I'm talking about Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. That's what they were. That's what they were talking about. Men like them, intelligent guys of the time, guys who we still know their names and we still understand their scientific practice. They started scientific practice in a lot of ways and mathematical practices. We look at these guys, and especially Aristotle, he talks about the daemon. These were invisible men. Now, they're demons, but back then, having a daemon was not a bad thing. They were a purveyor of knowledge. To have one of these invisible men attached to you meant that your knowledge, no matter whether you were studying at the universities at the time, which were the libraries, like the Library of Alexandria, that meant your level was going up. Your game was going up when you got one of these invisible men, quote unquote, attached to you. I look at it like that. And even in the Bible, it talks about how these brothers who were exorcists came to this house. They tried to exorcise this demon from this person in Jesus' name and in Paul's name. The demon went from this spiritual manifestation inside this person to a physical manifestation outside of the person and said, Jesus, I know, and Paul, I know, but who the hell are you? This is what I'm talking about with these creatures. They go from this weird cackles up on the back of your neck. You really don't see them. Then you think you see them out of the corner of your eye, the smoky apparitions. And then they actually have this physical form. This is what I mean by the ethereal beings. Is everybody following me, or am I just ranting? Have I been talking for like 11 minutes and nobody can hear me? For real? I'm just kidding. I've just not gotten that with you guys. How's everyone? We got Brown Dwarf, my personal favorite cryptid researcher, Miss the Lakea Show. My sister from another mother, Gordon Simboski, Barry Browning Construction, one of the best field investigators I know. Miss Wendy Wilson, who you'll be hearing a whole lot more of. Lana Dutcher, Patriot Warrior, like that handle. Gene Mahaffey, JJ, J Jones, Santa's Dim Lady, JJ, Chasing the Truth, of course, my boy Sean Graham, one of the greatest, not even podcasters, greatest radio personalities of all time. Chase Thompson, everybody knows who Chase is. Joe, I always slaughter your name. You haven't corrected me yet, so maybe I'm saying it right. Joe Figulin. And if I've missed anybody, I'm sincerely sorry. It's not intentional. It's just I need new glasses. Miss Susan Robertson, an old subscriber of the BDRP. Glad to see you in here. Milo Aaron, of course. He had a comment that looks pretty good. I had an honest to God nightmare the other night about Dogman. Wake up with the chills. First nightmare in 20 years. Milo Aaron, what do you attribute to that? Did you just eat too many cookies or tacos? Because sometimes certain foods you eat, it will give you nightmares. Or is there something more nefarious? Did you fall asleep listening to one of these crazy stories? Which I don't suggest you do. Hey, what's up, Graybeard? Anyways, yeah, I really would like to know more about your nightmare. I've been having crazy dreams myself lately, but I think it's because my eating habits are all based around eggs and sweets, and that'll do it for you. It doesn't have to be something nefarious every time. Something's going to come and get you, like the third movie in the Nightmare on Elm Street series. You know what I'm saying? But it could be that. I've talked to a lot of people where they are manifesting things through their dreams, and I think that goes into the ethereal being shit. I think that we not being creators, but being creative. We are not creators at all. When you hear content creator, that's just that's a theme. That's not an actual title. The only creator is God the creator, in my opinion. Um, then you have us human beings who are creative. Then you have this nefarious shit on the other side of the veil that has no creative ability whatsoever. The only thing that the wicked one can do is manipulate, pervert, um, change. You know what I mean? Then when I say the wicked one, old Stitch, everybody knows what I'm talking about. The ethereal world does not contain just demons, folks. That's coming from somebody who's went to Christian school, who's read the Bible, and you hear this all the time, and I'm not going to repeat it. I hate that crap. All read the Bible a dozen times, but then they couldn't name you 3 books outside of Genesis. You know what I mean? And Revelations. But I'm pretty savvy. There's more stuff out there than just demons and angels, I believe. People can call me wrong, but that doesn't necessarily mean I am. That just means my opinion differs from theirs. But there are other things out there. If you go back to the faith, we're looking at ancient Ireland, ancient Scotland, England, the Britons, Britons. When you go back and you start studying that kind of stuff, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of histories that talk about how Ireland was founded by supernatural creatures, that the actual Irish, and I know I got some Irish people in here, they can vouch for me. There's there's an absolute, I don't even know what you would call it. Anyways, there's a lot of people who say the Irish come from supernatural beings. That what we know in the book of Revelations are as the fall of angels, these creatures who fall out of heaven, these angels who left their first estate, they saw the daughters of men, blah, blah, blah. That these angels, before that, the fall, before that, where the devil actually left heaven and took a third of the angels with him, that they cried out to God and said, we will be down here alone. There's no one else. Please stop. And as he was chunking them out of heaven, out of the gates of heaven, he slammed the gate closed. And from that, the angels, wherever they were when they were falling, became the gods or the fairies of that area. That's why you have fairies of the air, fairies of the water, fairies of the trees, fairies of the rocks, the Fae race, Fae. Check me out. There's definitely history behind it, and it's very, very interesting history to me. And these are the supposed founders of Ireland. Now, I don't know about all that, but it's pretty cool, and this Irish account of the fall of angels existed 2,000 some odd years before the birth of Christ. So when I see that kind of stuff in history, I actually give it credence. So what do you guys think? I've been droning on for a minute. Everyone has their own opinion. Everybody has their own spirituality, their own religious preference. This right here, though, comes far beyond Christianity, Buddhism, Muslimism, and anything else you can think of, because everyone agrees around the world, the ancient Chinese, the ancient Native Americans here in North America, the Brits, all the European tribes of old, they have things that they all mention. Dragons, fairies of some sort, demons or devils, and one creator God. But again, I mean, it's not about what I think. I would like to know what you guys think. And real quick, I'm going to go over the poll results. I left it up a little bit longer than the last poll, honestly, because nobody agreed with what I thought. So I thought I'd leave it up to see if more people would agree with my thoughts on it. It don't look like you do. But we're going to go over that momentarily as well. Sorry about that technical difficulty. And here's life on that Life 1042 stuff. Jesus is black, Hebrew Ethiopian. Life 1042, I'm black. But how do you know Jesus was? What if Jesus was white? What if he was Indian? Not my type of Indian here in Oklahoma, but Indian from India. I got one for you. What if Jesus was an Eskimo? I, I don't really get into what color or nationality Jesus was, and I may agree with you. You know what I mean? You never know. My whole thing is this: he's either the son of God to you or he's not. He's either the Mashiach or he's not. Mashiach, Messiah. That race stuff that comes along with it, it was all made bomb and form and through him. So if we believe in Jesus, we really shouldn't be focusing on that kind of stuff, because I guarantee you, when we get up there, if I make it up there, which I will, if we get up there and we see all races, that's what we should expect, because God, for God to love the world, that he gave his only begotten son, not just because he loved black folks or white folks or red folks or polka dot folks or the folks that with the big almond eyes and big bulbous heads that people are mistaken for aliens. Let me tell you something about this alien stuff. I got cousins with big heads like that and big black eyes. If you saying big with little slit lips, if you seen them in the middle of the night with no shirt on, you may see them thinking they're one of these UFOs or Martians. Anyways, I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying, but I don't really get into all that. And I'm not picking on you at all, Life 1042. I know there was a host on this Dogman Cams before that really beat the drum of religion. I'm not a religious person at I'm not a religious person at all. At all. The Bible that I read growing up says that, and this is Paul saying this, that religion is to our Father in heaven as dung, i.e., God thinks about our way of worshiping as being a bunch of shit. He doesn't care how we worship, he cares who we worship. That's just how I interpret it. You know, I'm very, very practical. Yeah, just very simple. But again, let's go over these poll numbers. Now, this is what I believe, ladies and gentlemen. And the Dogman Cam show, not the show, I apologize, but this whole channel is growing. And I'd like to thank each and every last one of you guys for that. I know that a lot of you are enjoying our content, and especially the Dogman Cams website. If you haven't signed up, it's only $5.99 a month. Let me tell you something. I'm smoking a cigarette right now. I usually smoke Marlboro Reds. The pack went up to 8 something a pack. You would be paying a month to get amazing content. What I pay for a pack of cigarettes almost a day. That's fantastic, folks. And nobody, let's put all that stuff aside, the website and all that. Nobody on YouTube, let's back that up even further. Nobody in the quote unquote cryptid field is doing what we're doing at Dogman Cams. Not only do you have somebody who is a native son of New Orleans, the spookiest place on planet Earth, but you have somebody from Oklahoma, southern Oklahoma, who's inundated himself with Native American, and I'm being politically correct when I say that, Native American mythology, which, you know, like I do, mythology is another word for history, not readily accepted history. Then you have Vault of Nightmares, who's the Vault of Nightmares. He's grown up in Mississippi around these things. He can see them, and it'd be the same thing as seeing somebody walking down the street. The man has no fear in him. You get all these, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. You got all these people on the same team with Dogman Cams pointing the same direction, and there's nothing like it. And the things that we're doing and the things that are being done are amazing. I've never been a team player. So I started my own channel and my own research team and all that kind of stuff. I never really was about joining up and having somebody else's ideas manifest themselves through me. So that's why I'm with Dogman Cams, because it's nothing like that. It's exactly what it seems to be, a bunch of different minds and attributes pointing down the same arrowhead, firing down the same lane. I just thought I'd say that because I haven't, and it was on mine. So, as I promised, let's look at these polls. Now, the question was, what do you guys think the population of Dogman is in the United States? Now, I know there's a bunch of Dogmen in Canada. There's a bunch of Dogmen in Mexico and South America. We're talking about specifically the United States, which is the greatest country under heaven. Besides England. England's pretty cool. We're about neck and neck. Anyways, and here are the poll results. The first one was 1,000 to 10,000, 1,000 to 10,000 creatures. And here's the here. Actually, what am I doing? I don't have to just talk about it. Let's look at it together. All right, here we go. And welcome back again to a live stream. I'm excited to be back doing live streams with you. I'm not as good as Sean, so if you're expecting the level of professionalism that Sean has, then you're too bad. All right, folks. I'm gonna share the screen with you. We're gonna go over it together. Boom, boom. Anyways, lost my train of thought there for a second. Welcome back. Merry Cryptid Christmas. New poll. How many cryptids? Oh, and I lied to you. Dogman, Bigfoot, etc. So this script is not just Dogman. We'll do the Dogman poll. But how many cryptids in general, Dogman, Bigfoot, etc., do you think occupy the United States? The first one, 1,000 to 10,000. 18% think it's 1,000, 10,000. And this is 18% out of 537 votes, which is quite a bit. I thank everyone who participated. 10,000 to 50,000 think 35%. 50,000 to 100,000 of you, or I'm sorry, the average. 50,000 creatures to 100,000 creatures. 32% of you agree with that. 1 million plus 16%, which, and if you want to know what I think, that's too bad. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I would be in the million plus category almost, but I think it's more like 50,000 to 100,000 plus. And that's 35% and 32%. That's real close. And I think everybody who participated in that, I like these polls. But I honestly think that there's way more than 50,000. I'll be conservative. If you think about it, how much of the United States is unoccupied by people? Folks, it's over 50%. You got to think all the state parks, all the rural areas. During the 1920s, and earlier than that, during industrialization, people started moving towards the cities. They started moving out of rural areas. And we have the state parks, national parks, all that kind of stuff, state land, federal land. It is truly amazing how much of the United States is unoccupied by people. Out of that 50 some odd percent that's unoccupied by people, you know how much of that has been surveyed by foot? Less than 50%. So you got less than 50% of more than 50% of the United States that's been unoccupied and hasn't been surveyed by foot, which means when the planes would do surveys and whatnot of forests and rural areas, they would fly over. But there's not a lot of people who have been through these areas where these creatures are. If you have 50% of the United States, folks, this is a pretty big country. So, anyway, you have this pretty big country with all these weird creatures. You have the non-ethereal type of creature, the physical creatures that occupy underwater coves. They occupy cave systems. They bed on the ground. They bed in trees. We've heard it all, haven't we? Then you have these weird creatures, which I believe are the ethereals, or whatever anybody wants to call them. It does seem like they have something, these ethereal creatures. I will say this. It does seem like those are the nefarious creatures. You know what I mean? The creatures that people have non-passive experiences with. You'll hear, for instance, this guy's an author. This is when I first started. I was on a show with him. And I didn't know anything, you know what I mean? Except for my experiences. I was soaking in other people's experiences and trying to get understanding on what's taking place. But this author would talk about his first experience with any type of cryptid was a dogman outside of his house. And then, I kind of had an idea of what was taking place, and I wasn't very skeptical of the man. I believed him, but it just struck me as weird. Well, anyways, he was talking about this experience, and he felt fear as he was going to his door for no reason whatsoever, without prompt. I think he was going to take out the trash or maybe go to the grocery store or something benign. But he said as he was getting ready to open the door, he just felt dread and horror at the fact of, the precursor running into this creature. Now, again, he had no idea what was on the other side of this door. He opens the door. 10 feet in front of him is this tall dogman like creature. Your atypical dogman, the long snout, teeth don't fit in his mouth, skinny and gaunt, yet muscular. And he says, as he's looking at this creature and feeling this fear, two things happen. He wet himself, and the creature looked at him with red glowing eyes and just sort of disappeared. This experience wrecked this dude's life completely. It turned his world upside down. Now, when I hear stuff like that, it makes me think, what was this guy into? You know what I mean? I've not had an experience like that, and I've actively sought these creatures out. I've had things manifest themselves in front of me and disappear, but it was what people call poltergeist activity. Poltergeist, a belligerent ghost, like there's a good ghost. But this was taking place in a house that was in a bunch of turmoil, and there was a bunch of anger, and just it was a low vibrating frequency in this place all the time. But this author, and this is what really got me on the track of looking into the quantum realm or the spirit world, and these low vibrating frequency beings, these lower frequency beings, demons, whatever anybody wants to call them. And just from my personal experience and from what I've seen and what I've heard, and I may be wrong, there may be somebody in this chat right now that says, yeah, this thing looked like a monster with red eyes and manifested itself in front of me, and we played hopscotch, and it was a beautiful thing. Maybe that exists. I don't know. I don't believe that, but I don't know. I'm not going to judge anybody. But I really want to know the background on the people who have these experiences, what they're into. Like, what was that guy's day like? Was he happy all day long? Did he just get divorced? Did he experience death in his family? Was he sick? I really don't think that. I really don't think that the running into these physical creatures is as potent to the soul and the spirit as running into these ethereal creatures. I may be wrong, but I don't think so. If you go back and you listen to anybody where there's some sort of a ghostly element to their cryptid sighting, it's always a horror show. It's always a creep show. This just terrible stuff is taking place. But anyways, maybe I'll feed that into the next poll. I don't know. But I have something very, very special recorded for you guys. It'll be premiering tomorrow night. Hope you enjoy it. A lot of you seem to dig the narrations, and I'm doing a whole lot more of those because I want to do what you guys want me to do and what I want to do. All the rest of it, I'm not really worried about. You'll get a lot of, especially in the cryptid field, you get a lot of channels that are glad handing, which means that they'll go with the flavor of the month. You'll, for instance, you'll see, let's say Dark will get a guest that talks about seeing a white Bigfoot, and it'll almost be like a trickle down effect. First, it'll be on the Dark Waters Network, and then a week later, you'll see somebody talking about a white Bigfoot on such and such's channel, and then 3 more on on other people's. It's just weird. There's no originality. Like, if you're going to make up a story, be original about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind fiction, but these things are real. Like, there should be an indicator of what's going on. But it looked like the Vault of Nightmares is ready. shoot him an invitation. I'm sorry that I haven't really been watching chat. I think it'll be all right. Hopefully, when you guys see this is, and when I say this, I mean, I was taking a look at it, Miss Wendy Wilson's evidence. Hopefully, she will decide to come on the show because she has some of the most amazing stuff that I have ever seen in the cryptid field. Period. I mean, lights in the skies, orbs. She collects evidence better than people I know that have been doing this for 10 years. And she's just an enthusiast. She's a straight up enthusiast of the subject, a fan of the subject, and she has it going on around her. So, anyways, Vault, that's that is sent. If you want to join, or if you can. So is everybody ready for Christmas? I guess is what I'm supposed to ask as a show host this close to Christmas. Is there people that don't celebrate Christmas anymore? I want to be one of those. It's a consumer holiday. There's pretty good proof that Jesus was probably not born in anywhere close to December. Wave 44, my boy. He says demons don't have what demons don't have what on Dogman. Dogman is probably influenced, if not controlled by demons. Maybe. There's a good possibility of that. I appreciate that, Bob M. But anyways, and I've gone past 10 minutes, folks. Vault, I see you backstage, but it says your device is not connected. Folks, Vault has got him an entire new system. So if he's not able to join us, then, oh, well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, subscribers of Dogman Cams, I'd like to introduce the Vault Keeper himself, the Vault of Nightmares.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, bro?
Oh, nothing much. Hold on, let me do a little tweaking here. All right. Yeah, I have been setting up a whole. Do I sound all right?
You sound good, man. I like your whatever mic you're using is fantastic. Sounds great.
That is the Blue Yeti Ember.
XLR. Nice. You have the Blue Yeti Sherpa, maybe Blue Yeti something. It's a great mic. And there he goes. Wave 44 says, I celebrate Christmas. Certainly, Jesus was either born in September or sometime in the spring around March. And there's biblical evidence to that. Thank you. Vault?
I accidentally hit a button. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Man,
but I jumped on here. I was talking about our Ethereal Dogman. Ethereal being, the now you see it, now you don't type of creature. I don't believe that these things, and people call them different things, the Fae, spiritual beings, demons, gods with a little g, whatever anybody wants to call them, they're real. They're just as real as these physical creatures that live in underwater coves, cave systems, and trees. They bed on the ground. And these, in my opinion, are the ones that are more dangerous. Just because they can manifest themselves however they do it. From a spiritual or non-physical form to a physical form. Well, what do you think about that?
Well, it's been, if you believe history, it's been proven in history. Look at all the Greek gods and Roman gods and
yeah, absolutely, Egyptian gods.
One
of which looks like a dog man.
Exactly. This is funny because this setup here, I can't hear myself talk, so I can't hear nothing unless I get like this.
Your voice sounds a lot better, man. Like it sounds smooth. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the what I'm waiting on now, I'm trying to get my green screen As soon as I get my green screen, I got one more element to add to the mix.
There you go.
Well, the way we're going to start doing this is like you were talking about a while ago, the evidence for going over it. I've been planning this for about a year. I just been teaching myself how to do this. You know how people do the weather report where they're standing in front of the green screen and they're pointing and they're talking. Well,
Right.
I have the capability of doing the same thing, except for I can put evidence, I can play a video, I can play whatever on the green screen, and I can be in front of it pointing to stuff instead of drawing arrows.
That's phenomenal.
Uh,
I like the old time radio feel of it. I think me and John Graham are vibrating on the same frequency because you know what I mean. Like he's an old school radio host, and that's what I like. I got a face for broad.
what the hell was that? I don't know what you clicked, but it sounded like a demon took over. Yeah, you went way deep down. Yeah, that's the echo now. Sound like you're playing with some toys on something you got.
All right, I'll quit.
Yeah. See, I can do something similar to that right now. And you know, we can just bring out multiple of my personalities.
Do you sound like that Pink Floyd album?
Well, hey, Lakea likes this. Watch.
You're out of there, Paul. Anyways.
Yeah, see, I said I got a few more toys, but like I said, the biggest thing I'm waiting on now is the green screen. I've got to go get it. I figured out which one I needed. I put it in my inventory a while ago, and I've got to get it because see, the little small green screens won't work for the setup I got. It takes a 10-foot by 10-foot green screen.
Man, I'd be afraid if I had a green screen that I'd act a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, I'm going to.
You know what I mean? Like, there'd be a point in time where I'd be looking at the feed and seeing myself, and then seeing a bunch of stuff flash behind me, and just act like an idiot.
Well, I said I've got basically I don't have a green screen. I have a wall that I had to have because, like I said, we can project. Even the walkthrough videos of the woods I do, I can be playing that, standing there like I'm immersed in with it and pointing out, showing people stuff. If you do a walk around, Chaos and one of his boys I've inspired them to go out in some of their areas that they've had some weird activity. They're doing a walk around. And I can put it up and go through it with them. That's something different that nobody else is doing. And it's going to change how we look at evidence because where people say, I can't see it. Well, I can point it out. I can go and see, look, it came from here. It moved from there. That's something different.
That's the cool thing about you explain your setup like off air one day. And that's the thing that kind of, that was a selling point to me, that you'd be able to do a lot in real time. And that's pretty cool to me.
Well, it brings everybody more into what we're doing. That's the whole thing I was trying to do, not just get them interested, but bring them in along with us. Like I said, that's the whole thing, because without the show, me and you can talk for hours anyway.
And we have.
Yeah. But having the folks here, I was like, hold on, I can see us here. Let me throw this. See, I'm actually running dual screens now. Back again. I finally got one of those back in, where I can actually see freaking chat.
And while you're doing that, I'd like to acknowledge some people that I've kind of looked over and seen in the chat. Of course, Wave 144 is a good friend of mine.
Okay.
Um, Miss Carol Edwards, who's always very nice. She's
Of
subscribed
course.
to my main channel. And if you haven't yet subscribed to DDoS Presents, please do so because it's awesome, I think. And you get to see you're going to get to see a whole lot more than just the cryptid investigator. But anyways,
Yeah, I may get to see a whole lot of me. I don't want to. I don't know.
yeah, you're gonna be on there. Hopefully, Dark come over. Yeah, we have some guests and be able to let our hair down a little bit, like we did the last show. I think that was the last show I did over on your channel when you Dark, me and you were on there, and it felt like a conversation we have on the phone. Like it was relaxed. People really appreciate that type of stuff.
Well, the other thing is, like I said, I'm not real good at communications. The other thing is, I've been in talking behind the scenes to a couple of places to put some documentaries on.
Nice.
I'm not saying the places yet, but one starts with an A, one starts with an N.
Well, that's still not saying anything. There's lots of stuff that starts with A's and N's. What
Well,
are you talking about?
these are streaming platforms, like big name streaming platforms.
Oh, okay. Starts with an A and starts with an N. I got you.
Another one is actually a TV station that starts with an N and then it has a B in it.
Well, since you're revealing some inside knowledge, I'm going to reveal that I've been talking to a couple of people, and this in this one particular place, and it starts with the D, and I'm
Oh.
going to be putting out content there. And as you've guessed, it's the Doss household. I'm going to release a documentary to my wife and child, and they're going to be the exclusive audience. And it's going to be a documentary about DDoS and the origins of the Doss family, exclusively at Doss household.
Oh, that's
I'm
gonna be
just,
cool.
no, I'm joking. I just made all that up.
Uh, uh,
Anyways, I'm excited, man. Now it's cool to see the progress of like even the old channel, like where it started and where it is now. I mean, you're cooking with gas. I'm proud of you.
I've got to redo. I tell you how scatterbrained I am sometimes. I was trying to get Sean on the show one night, and no, I was sending him something. I forgot what it was, but anyway, I accidentally sent him the whole last part of the Return to Booger Valley, and
Oh yeah.
when it's sent to him, I corrupted it somehow. So I actually figured out how to do some other stuff since I done that. So I'm in the process of redoing that 10 times better than what I thought it was before. And all the other stuff. And then, like I said, I've been dealing with taking my uncle back and forth, helping them. He's not doing so well.
Yeah, and you've been keeping us updated on that, and he stays in our prayers. I'm sorry to hear that.
I thank y'all. Like we've been telling him, you need to keep upbeat. You need to do everything. Like right now, he has a hard time eating stuff like that. So that's one reason why I haven't been in the woods like I need to be. It is because, like I said, I've been doing all that, but why is that not open?
And that's another thing, like where we talk about the ethereal stuff. It's another reason I want to do the show. Man, there's a whole lot more out there than those physical creatures, and I like to get on here and laugh and have fun. But really, I do want to tell people like just you have to be careful and be very very attentive to what you're doing, how you're doing it, and when you're doing it, because there's other stuff out there than these animals. I personally believe that a lot of these dogman and Bigfoot creatures are nothing more than that, just highly intelligent animals of some sort. But there is other stuff out there. So and as I said, being these low or high vibrational creatures, who can somehow manifest themselves in our reality, uh, they play on a whole different set of rules, and you cannot approach them or think to approach them as you would a physical creature.
Sorry about that. My phone's.
No worries.
I was checking on him right before I got on here, and like I said, y'all, I've almost got the room that I was in was not big enough for what I wanted to do, so I took over Miss Lakea's living room, and I have had it kind of destroyed, and she's been ready to kill me because something that should have took a day has been took a week. Uh, so it,
What do you got going, Vol? Why are you taking over your wife's living room? What's the matter with you?
well, like I said, I had to get so many feet back from the camera, and like I said, then when I got so many feet back, that's when I realized I gotta have something that's it's actually it's 9.5 feet by almost 10 feet. That's the size of the green screen that I gotta have to be
Oh, so
able
you
to
really are going to be like a weatherman. You'll be able to walk in front of the screen. The weather
do.
coming out of Seattle is going to be
And we're gonna call it the cryptid report, the daily cryptid report.
right on.
And I'm thinking about doing those earlier in the day, and that way, people will get to. I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate all the people that are from around the world that are when it's early morning here, it's late over there. So, and thank you everyone that has helped support me and help me get stuff going. And then me and Mr. Barry are fixing to start our outing with the whole doing the Natchez Trace. I think that is going to have to be put on hold a little bit longer, but we're still going to be going out on the outing to another area. Reason why it's because a lot of those places down through there, they still have blocked off for the coronavirus now that we want to get into. I think there's some that we can get into before, but if we can, we may skip over those areas that are closed. He's down there today or tomorrow checking on some of the places, and he may even be putting up some videos because I got Mr. Barry Browning fixing to start a channel.
Barry Browning, I've said it before and I'll say it again, is he's tits. He's the bee's knees. I can't sing his praises high enough. Again, for all who don't know, he was the last field investigator for the BDRP. He was going to represent the state of Mississippi. So,
well, we're still going to represent the state of Mississippi. We're going to do it in a little bit different fashion. My whole thing is I'm fixing to cover all 50 states. I don't know. Hopefully before I die, we're going to try to. I know we're going to start in Mississippi. I think right now we're leaning towards, by the way, the map that I'm mapping out of the sighting reports. See, I'm going through doing this. I got the idea from Mr. Jeff Harding. I'm putting the science to the Bigfoot. All right, there's 4 things that in the science community that you need to collect to verify an animal besides the body. That is photograph or video, castings, DNA from either hair, fingerprint smudges, or fecal matter, and audio. We're going for the gambit on all these.
And for all of those people who don't understand the scientific term of fecal matter, that means boo-boo.
Yeah, poo-poo, boom, boom. You name it, that whatever you want to call it, that's what we're going after. That's part of it. And the other thing is I went in and, like I said, I went to the DNR and started looking for all the related animal deaths. And then in that, I started pulling out all the oddities of those. Like when you got a person that's been dismembered by a pack of dogs, that's unrare, that's uncommon. It takes a lot of big dogs to do that. Or especially like Mississippi, you get someone attacked by a bear. There ain't no bears here. The only bears are right around the border, and they're little bitty small black bears. Just odd occurrences like that. and I've been making cluster maps. And what's different is because if you get 6 clusters and they kind of make a circle, well, go to the center of that circle and start working out, because I guarantee you that there's a reason why that cluster's there. If you take the scientific method that serial killers or people that commit violent crimes, they don't usually commit them where they're living. They go out around the perimeters. So I'm taking my background in law enforcement, putting it towards all this. I don't know if anybody else has ever done this, but I'm trying it, and it's a learning process and a learning curve. But right now, looks like Arkansas has the most clusters, or the most groups of clusters. Tennessee and Arkansas. What I'm doing is, when I start in Mississippi, how I'm going to pick where I'm going to, except for Louisiana. I'm saving Louisiana for last. There's a reason why, because it's going to take so much effort and so much time to cover it, because most of it's water. So that means airboats and all this other stuff are going to be involved. So I'm saving one of the harder ones for probably towards the last. But the next state I go from Mississippi, has to touch Mississippi. So that's more than likely going to be either Arkansas or Tennessee. I think I'm going towards Tennessee, and then once I hit Arkansas, Arkansas. See, that right there would carry me over to hook up into Oklahoma,
and that's where I come in.
Yeah, you see where I'm leaning? Why I'm leaning towards Arkansas?
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm trying to do this,
and not to cut you off, but I know I've told you before, but my mother's side of the family, the Smiths. Her great-great-great-grandfather was the general for the 1st Colored Regiment of Arkansas. And the 100 acres that he was awarded after the Civil War is still in our family. And that's the property where Grandma would tell me, don't go whistle near the tree line. Them catamounts get you. And it took Tim Coonbo Baker, previously of the Bigfoot Outlaws, to explain to me that, yeah, some of those old folks, I always thought she meant mountain lion. And I thought it was weird that she would say a mountain lion would throw me over its shoulder and run through the woods. That's not what she was talking about.
Yeah, you care if I address something real quick in the chat? There, Life.
Sure, yeah.
Life keeps asking, when am I going to set up the new camera? I've said this multiple times. I'm waiting on the other part. I've got a hotspot that we're waiting on snail mail to deliver. Once it comes in, I'm going to change out that other camera.
And it is Christmas. All this was done at the beginning of the holiday season, so we do appreciate your patience. But yeah, you know how snail mail goes, especially around Christmas and Thanksgiving.
The other thing is, like I said, I've got some lot of stuff that's going on that I'm doing too. But as soon as it comes in, that is the first thing I'm doing. I'm not going to disrupt the camera right now to put that one up, because like I was trying to tell you before you ordered that camera system is not like the camera system we have. So I've got to change up everything out there to hook that camera up. That's the reason why we wasn't asking people to buy those cameras and stuff, because they have no idea what system we have. That goes to that camera system that you got and sent goes to a closed circuit monitoring system. It's not like what we have. So I have to totally redo the whole system. That's the only reason why that I'm waiting, because once I take it down and swap that over, I don't know what problems I'm going to run into.
And folks, it's going to be worth the wait. The area that we're going to, it makes Walt's backyard look like Disneyland compared to Disney World.
Can y'all hear Lakeia?
No. What's up, Sister Lakeia?
All right, go ahead, talk.
Boo Boo is epic.
Boo Boo is epic?
Yeah,
I spit my coffee everywhere.
I've been trying to tone myself down, y'all, some, because I get tired of, man, I love your show, but you cuss too much, or you got a potty.
Bro, you sound very professional now. That's why I had to disrupt all that shit with Boo Boo. I mean, because I'm not professional at all. I do my best to be semi-professional, and like you're talking about all these scientific terms, and all I heard was fecal matter. And I had to throw that in.
Like I said, I'm sorry. Like I said, because
Dookie, boss gonna be collecting Dookie. But really, though, that's what they look for, man, because you could tell so much from caca. Like what you first you have DNA evidence. You can tell what they're eating, so you can tell their eating habits. There's a lot that you can find from Boo Boo.
Well, like I'm changing up the way I've done stuff for years. That's the other thing. This is a learning process as I go, because I went from where I'd just go out there, me and whatever I needed, and go do this. And I didn't think of cameras and stuff, none of that stuff. I've got camera systems now, not only the ZWiki Cam. Oh shit, what the hell? Okay. Not only the ZWiki Cam.
What was that? Anyways, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My screen kind of went blink, blink, and I'm like, oh shit, what the hell? What did I touch? But not only do I have the ZWiki Cam that I'm carrying, reuse, and record, I also have I don't know it's like a GoPro. It's the only thing, but it's not a GoPro. It's actually a Sony 4K camera that sits right above whatever my right eye is looking at, it's looking at. And the reason why we're using that is because it has a wrist activator. I don't actually have to hold a camera up or whatever. If I'm looking at something besides me shifting and trying to hold a camera and point a camera at it, I can point my head and reach over on my wrist and either tap the button to take a picture or tap the button to start recording if I'm not already recording. That's going to change up things, because you can ask D. If you actively point at one of these things, you can go from it trying to peek around a tree to it wanting to smush your head like a melon.
Oh, yeah.
So this means that I don't have to make any kind of threatening motions towards it to either make it run away or whatever. I'm just got my hands down in front of me, and I can actually take it on my wrist. I can actually activate this camera that's on the side of my head. If I'm looking at it, it's looking at it. And this is a 4K camera. I'm not exactly sure the zoom capabilities. I'm still figuring all that out, but a 4K camera, and as close as I get to these things, if it's 30 yards away, I'm pretty sure you're going to get to see it real good.
Yeah.
Because my idiot tail, unfortunately, sometimes gets way too damn close to these things.
Man, I hear it's crazy hearing you, like, because I can tell you're trying.
Mm-hmm.
You are trying your best not to curse.
Yes.
I'm proud of you, bro. Like, I'm not being facetious at all. Like, I can tell you're trying to, like, clean it up and be professional. You're better than me, because, like, I'm with the BDRP. I'll tell you this much: with the BDRP, like, I'd actually talk to the children of some of the subscribers, especially this one. I won't say his name, but he would tell me that every night, when he gets done praying, his son, when he got done praying for his parents, he would pray for the nice Bigfoot guy on the BDRP. And I was like, man, I can't go in there cussing and raising hell. You know what I mean? Like, this kid's praying for me after his parents. Are you kidding me? Like, so I really had to watch what I said. But now I'm in a network where it's 99.9% adults. And it's not just adults, it's laid back, real people. So I feel more comfortable, like, just being me. You know what I mean? Because I like Sean. I look at Sean like I look at the guy who what's his name? And that's the rest of the story.
Oh, Paul Harvey.
Sean is like this generation's Paul Harvey. He's so professional, so polite, and he's done it. I think we started around the same time, but he actually polished his craft. And I talked about it earlier. I wasn't kidding. The dude, he's going to go far. He's going to be a beast, and he's already on terrestrial radio.
See, and that's the reason why I'm changing up I'm trying to clean up my act a little bit. It's because, like, I can't go over on his show like I used to and show up and say the stuff I used to that I normally would say, because that could get him kicked off terrestrial radio. And I love going on his show. And I love talking to him. And then I've gotten what people don't realize is I've actually gotten invites to come on, like Coast to Coast and places like that. But with my mouth, they would be hit by so many.
Bro, Admire Thoria just said it. Like the song says, you got to have a gimmick. Vault's gimmick is being raw and real. And see, admire Thoria. I don't know if you know anything about it, but like when I was 16 years old, I went to professional wrestling school. And I wrestled all through high school. I'm not talking about wrestling, WRESTLING. I'm talking about wrestling, like, The Rock and all that kind of stuff. So from 16 to 18, as I was wrestling in high school, I did go to wrestling school. And that kind of gave me the mindset to talk like a broadcaster, I guess, like be in character and all that. It's cool to kind of let all that stuff go, though. But I understand what you're saying. You're trying to move to a different level.
Well, it's not that we're trying to teach old dog Vault a few new tricks. Like I said, now don't get it twisted. I ain't no different than what I am. I'm just trying to clean up my speech pattern. That's all I'm doing. I'm still the old crazy, goofy. If it comes down to it, I'll be your Huckleberry.
Yeah, right.
Like the other night, whenever I did the show, had an epic show, and then a bunch of jackasses decided to do what they wanted to do. Well, y'all, hey, look,
that dog just don't hunt.
No, well, they brought out the Vault in DW because I was oblivious to what was going on because I was immersed into what I was doing. And had no idea this other crap where I'm being called a hoaxer and all this kind of crap.
A hoaxer? What have you hoaxed? I'm glad you said that. I've been called a hoaxer too, but I've never been called a hoaxer up until the point where I came back to the public eye. So for those people who are out there saying, and I'll speak for Vault, I don't like speaking for anybody, I'll speak for Vault too. Those people who are out there saying that we're hoaxers, prove it, please.
Yes. Come out here and stand by me and tell me whatever the fuck is screaming at me it is not there.
Come on down to Brown Springs and I'll take you on a hike. And the only two rules
they're saying that I hoax now was the recording I did where I only thought, the screen. They're like,
that was not hoaxed. If it was, I'd tell you folks, but having listened to audio, that wasn't hoaxed. I mean,
they say it sounds like this sound that was on the 70s movies. I went and found it and looked it up. It does sound similar. The problem with that is these idiots that want to call me a hoaxer need to pay attention to what they're listening to because it sounds similar. The only problem is that creature only does one set of howl. It goes, rah, and then it just stops.
You're talking about these Sierra sounds?
Well, it's on some 70s movie. I forgot what it's called.
Oh, it's on a movie.
Yeah. All right. The one I've got doesn't do that. It goes, rah, then tones off and then starts right back up again. And then all of a sudden,
all it's with one breath.
Yeah. And then it just shut its mouth. Just.
I've been insulted in this field, dude. And that's one thing that I don't like. This is being called a hoaxer. Why would I leave my family, go wander through the woods with something that'll kill me? After it kills me, it would be attributed to a creature that's not even in the area, like a mountain lion or a bear. Why would I do all that just to go out, hike 7 miles into the deep brush, to put out a recorder, turn on a camera, and react to some recorded? That's madness to me.
Look, the first person to ever scrutinize any kind of evidence I've ever put forth was DDoS. I sent it to him. I was like, here, look at this right here. And I didn't even know
with no prompt. He didn't like say, all right, at this point in the video, you'll see this. At this point, you'll see that. He just said, hey, check out this video. And I gave him my honest feedback. And I found stuff that he didn't even know was there.
I said, well, I wish we still had that because I don't even have it no more.
That's
well, I'm crawling through these bramble briars. Literally, I'm on my hands and knees crawling. As I crawl out, there's one standing probably 10 feet away from me behind a tree.
Yeah. It was correction. It was crouching in front of the tree in the briars. That's what got me. It was like sitting on its butt with his knees in front of it.
Watch me. I'll crawl right by it.
Looking right at you.
Yeah. But like I said, now if I'm trying to hoax something, that would have been the perfect opportunity. But this is the thing. I didn't even know it was there when I crawled through it. I didn't know it was there until afterwards. I didn't know that there were several others that I'd walked down a path and walked right by until D pointed it out.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. You can walk right by one of these things, even knowing what you know, or knowing what I know. I've walked right by them before. I walked by one time on a hunting trip. It was a guided trip where the guy told I got there late, so I didn't get to go out the day before and pick my stand and find out where I was going. That morning when I woke up, he said, "Well, man," he said, I know where a place to put you at. It's one of my old stands. You go down this road. Now, y'all, this is country talk, y'all. So hold on. You go down the road, you see the big poplar, and you turn right. And the stand will be a couple of 100 yards off the edge of the field. Okay. I go walking up through there to find the stand. I'm looking for a big poplar tree. Well, I see it kind of looks like the road forks. Well, I see a poplar tree on one side. It's on the left side. So I turn right. And I was like, but where the road forks at, there's probably a 6-foot burnout stump is what it looks like. And I'm trying to figure out, why didn't he just say turn by the burnout stump? It'd been a lot easier, because what would happen if I didn't know what a poplar tree looked like? So I turn, I go out there and I get this stand. And I said, now I walk probably 15 feet beside this thing, but it's dark. I'm talking about it's dark. And you barely, I'm using moonlight to look. That's why I thought it was a burnout stump. So I walk out there, get in the stand, and I get all my stuff up, and I sit there and I start to open up my thermos. I'm pouring me a cup of coffee. And I just happen to be, the light now is where you can see, but it's still not daylight. You know what I mean? It's that right before good daylight. This fucking stump I just walked by, it's about 200 yards away. He gets up and walks the fuck off. I'm like, that explains why he didn't tell me to turn to burnout stump.
Yeah, see, man, like same thing. Since I'm in the same boat, all my research videos, because I'm an idiot and keep them offline, they were gone. But one of the best pieces of footages I had was I focused in on this stump that had a face, and sure enough, it wasn't a stump. But we have reached our hour, Mr. Vault, and gone a little bit past. So I'm gonna let these folks get ready for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, and Dogman Cam subscribers on here on YouTube, go check out our website. This is the Vault Keeper from the Vaults of Nightmares. If you haven't already, please subscribe to his channel. You'd do us a big favor if you'd hit like on this video and share it over your social media platforms. Yes, and please. I have something very special for you guys. I may not get it out tonight, but it'll be up tomorrow. And for the subsequent days following, I've listened to all you. I've got a lot of emails on it, and I'll be doing a lot of narrations for you guys from the old interviews I've done, emails that you sent, and everything in between. So you people are awesome. I love this channel.
Yes.
Love the crowd. Love the family. So each and every last one of you have a great weekend, and we'll see you later on tonight.
Thank you for letting me come in, man.
Awesome. Thank you for coming, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Like I said, I'm going to do a show later tonight now. So if you're around, come on over.
Absolutely, bro. All right. Y'all be blessed. Thank y'all. Bye-bye.